Computer. Yay. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. I'm so happy to see you here. My name is Sue Ellis-Saller, and I wanted to talk to you a little bit today about, hi, Linda. Welcome, welcome. So I wanted to talk to you all a little bit today about, when you get information from your higher self or from the universe or guidance from your angels or ascended masters, wherever you get your guidance from, how to tell the difference if it's just your ego talking, like is this your ego talking, or is this your higher self talking? So this is one of the big questions that a lot of people have is, how can they trust the information that they're given? And how can they tell really if it's just something they're making up or if it's something that is coming to them from an external source that has their highest and greatest good in mind? And so one of the things that I like to start out with in my own work, in my own journey, in my own assimilation of information from the universe is really put myself in a space where I only allow messages for my highest and greatest good or for the highest and greatest good of my clients to come through. And by setting that intention, I know that I'm centering every time in the best place possible. So I'm not centered in sadness or revenge or guilt or shame or, anger, rage, fear. I don't want messages to come from those spaces. I want them to come from a place where I'm really centered and grounded in who I am. And I also surround myself with angels pretty much all the time, or do a big Reiki blast on myself just to make sure that the information that I'm getting is or my energy field is guarded by universal energy, universal light, and also helping spirits like angels and like my ancestors, for example. So then really you kind of want to soften into a space where you're receptive to these messages, because a lot of times, and I'm going to tell you what, I'm not expecting that you're going to be 100% perfect in softening yourself or in calming yourself down enough to receive these messages. But it's really funny. One of the things that was one of the ways that I was able to tell that the universe was there and had my back one time was one of my kids was in the hospital, and I was rushing back and forth. My husband is a pilot, so he's often out of town, and I'm often the only adult here in charge of 3 children. And so, when one is in the hospital and the other 2 are in regular school or in preschool, then you are kind of like your hands are tied. And we don't have any family in the area to be able to help me to sort out when I need somebody to be one place and another place at the same time. So I was really rushing. I wanted the one child to be released from the hospital. I had to talk to the doctors and everything. And then the one who was in preschool, I called the preschool to see if he could stay a little longer, and the preschool said no, he can't. And so I was just flabbergasted. I was floored. I was okay, I have my one kid in the hospital. Anyway, so I'm driving and I'm feeling down and trodden and depressed and everything like that, and I look up and there's a 444 there, which if you're a follower of angel numbers, you know that 444 is an angel number. And it was just hey, we're here for you. And I look over there and there's another 444, and then I look and there's a 222. So it was really letting we're here for you. Don't be so down that, you have spirits around you who are here to help you feel better about things. So anyway, that really made me feel better about it. Now, going back to our topic today, because that was kind of a little bit off topic, and that's with the angel numbers and repetitive numbers, and we'll get into that with the Connect program. But how do you tell if the messages that you're receiving are actually from spirit or they're coming from ego? Now, One really easy test is the information that you're receiving, is it kind, positive, and loving? So it's not going to berate you like an angry teacher and be like, you shouldn't do this, I knew you were going to do it wrong. It's going to be like, wow, look at that. This didn't turn out the way you wanted it to. Perhaps we can try something different. So it's going to look at things from a totally different perspective, from a higher perspective, of course. And a lot of times that's really hard for us humans to kind of step back, especially when we're in a situation where we need this guidance and support right away, but we're not, kind of mentally or spiritually in a place where we feel comfortable making these decisions. And that's when we're looking for input from our higher self or from the universe or from source. So like I said, sometimes it's going to come to you in numbers, that you're going to see repetitive numbers, or you're going to see a symbol. Like if you're thinking about your grandmother, for example, and you see either an apron that gave me chills, like an apron that reminds you of the one that she used to wear when you would cook together, or a bird that she really loved, that you can see as a visitation from spirit. So your grandmother is understanding on her plane, in her energy, that you are wanting to talk to her, wanting to receive a message, and will show herself to you in things that you familiarize with her. So for example, like the apron, like a smell of baking, or a bird or an animal that she really loved. So, and a lot of times when I'm working with my clients, I mean, sometimes they have loved ones who have passed on, and they want to know if they're receiving messages. They want to know, they want reassurance that that person's spirit is still with them and around them. And so sometimes these spirits are like, hey, I'm here. A favorite song coming on the radio, a scent of perfume or cigarettes. A lot of us have relatives who smoke very heavily, and then we smell their cigarettes. And that is them sending us a sign that they're around us. So the thing that I was talking about earlier a little bit, softening into that awareness, softening into that acceptance, is really probably the number one hurdle that a lot of people have to get over, is like really trusting what spirit is saying to them, or that it is a sign, in fact. And so a lot of times, the signs that I get, I'm like, couldn't have put that more plain, it's like a pancake in the face or something for me a lot of times. And so the more you work with your spirit guides, and the more you get to trust them and how they deliver messages to you, and the more open you are to receiving messages from various sources, be they snippets of conversation that you overhear, or a song on the radio, or like I said, the smell of bread or croissants or whatever your grandmother was known for baking, or cigarette smoke or whatever. And then also that tone. Those are going to be the really important things. So when you're getting messages from the divine, they're not going to be mean or downtrodden or critical of you. They're going to be very loving, very supportive, very much like, let's take the lesson out of this and let's see what we can do to move forward. So if you have any questions about this topic, or anything about receiving messages from your higher self or from the spirits that are around you, please feel free to let me know. Please put them in the chat box under here, or if you are watching this video on YouTube or on Connect or on my website, comment below. Please hit like. Please share this with any friends that you think will benefit from this information. And I am going to be releasing a new program. It's going to be a year long. It's called Connect. And it will The start date is on October 15th this year, 2019, which is really exciting for me because we're coming into that time of the year where the veil is kind of lifting, and it couldn't be a better time to start a program like this, because we'll be in that phase where the spirit world kind of bends through and seeps into the real world. And so a lot of times for people, it's much easier to connect with spirit during this time and to be able to receive those messages. And so what better time to start a program like this than when everything is in line or aligned to be able to make it easier for you right from the start, so that you can start trusting those messages and also trust your ability to receive, comprehend, and express those messages if you want to give them further on to other people, or if you want to journal about them or share them with friends and family. So if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And I am looking forward to sharing so much information with you all in the near future. I am looking forward to expanding my work a lot more. Yeah, I'll talk to you about that some other time, because I was just